It is Wednesday, July 4th. I just want to say a quick hello to all new viewers and a great welcome back to all returning viewers. If you tuned in last time and decided to come back, I really do appreciate it. To everyone in America, happy Independence Day. And for those in Canada, happy Canada Day, belated, I know. So those with pets, I hope your pets aren't driven too crazy with all of these fireworks shows in the area. Um, Mario has pretty much been hiding under the couch every night this past weekend. We essentially live in an area where we can hear multiple towns' fireworks, so that's been fun. Anyway, how have you all been? I've been good. I do have lots to talk to you about, so I should probably get started, right? So grab your drink of choice, your knitting or crafting, and away we go. Today I'm actually just drinking a cup of polar seltzer water. I believe it is the raspberry lime one. Basically, just out of my tank, what I call a tank of water. I've had this thing for years, but anyway, rambling. Can you tell it's still kind of early, huh? All right, so I did finish something this week, you guys. I finished my June self-striping socks. I essentially used a vanilla sock pattern, kind of that I've been playing around with to make sure it works for my heel. I did use Fab Funky Fibers with their self-striping sock colorway called Smells Like Teen Spirit. So, as you do, I did take a picture of my socks in front of the Nirvana poster we have upstairs because, you know, had to. I did use a size US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter, on both a 9-inch circulars and two 16-inch circulars for the heels, toes, and cuffs. So, what I am currently working on, well, since it is after July 1st, which is actually when I started this, was what I'm calling simply my July Desert Vista Dye Work socks, or DVD for short. I am using the OMG Heel Socks by Megan Williams, who is Just Run It of the Stuck Knits and Zombies podcast. I am using Desert Vista Dye Works Viso Base, the Clue colorway. Oh, I love how it's knitting up so far, you guys. It's very dark in color, but I can definitely see where the Clue characters come in and all that good stuff. I am using a size US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter, also a 9-inch circular, and two 16-inch circulars for the heels, toes, and cuffs. This is actually being housed in my Zelda stained glass bag by Slip Stitch Studios. I love it. There were a few other things that got a little bit of love this week. The first one is what I am simply just going to call shawl number 2. As y'all know, I have been designing a pattern. I am now still currently on my second iteration of the shawl pattern. I'm trying a little bit of different things as well, trying to get further into the patterning of it to kind of make sure my numbers match for y'all before I send it out to test knitters. I did get to the second patterning section now. I'm thinking I may get to a third before I am out of yarn entirely. I'm kind of just playing with the pattern as I go and just trying to figure out if everything works, like I mentioned before. I'm currently working on it right now, so if I seem a little distracted, I'm sorry. I am not really into the patterning part, but anyway, I'm rambling. You'll see when it comes out, I promise. Like I said, yes, this pattern is something that I am creating. I'm kind of playing with a few ideas for pattern names, or pattern, yeah, for design names. I do not have a final yet, but once I do, I will let you know. For this particular iteration of the shawl, I am using Nice and Knit fingering in 3 different colorways, kind of doing like a fade type deal. I am using the Canal colorway, also the Driftwood colorway, and the Vineyard colorway. So that's a blue, a gray color, and a purple colorway, because they're my favorite colors and they're kind of everything that I wear has something of those in them. Right now I am currently working on the Driftwood colorway. And I am using a size US 6, which is a 4.0 millimeter needle. I'm using Chigu red lace needles as well, I believe. Yes, uses a 40-inch cable. 40 or 47. I never remember. I'm sorry. This is actually being housed in my orange gothic bag by the Knitting Broomstick. Love the bag, guys, and it's perfect. Got so many compliments on it too. So yay. Thanks, Jilly. The next thing that did get a little bit of love this week, actually quite a bit of love considering I should only be working on one thing, right? But this one is called Gemini's in retrograde. I am currently about an inch after the first increase of the body, so I have about another inch and then another increase, and then, yeah, and then I should be almost there, but we'll see. If you're wondering, that pattern name is called Gemini by Jane Richmond. This is a pattern that's actually meant to be in cotton and linen blends for the summertime, but as typical silver, I am going to not. I've been using Red Heart Comfort Sport in the Cardinal Red colorway because I did have enough of that particular skein to get through most of the sweater. I've decided, I believe that in another inch or so, I'm actually going to switch over to another colorway and finish it off with that color kind of as a gradient. I don't really know yet. Crossing my fingers, we'll see. This is being knit with a size US 6, which is a 4.0 millimeter needle, and a US 7, which is a 4.5 millimeter. I am currently, as I'm knitting the body, on a Susan Bates size 7 needle, 29-inch cable, mostly because it's the only one I had. It is still kind of free floating around because, yeah, I work on it too much to put it away. Let's just put it that way. So I also did give a little love this week to Simply Aware, which is the Lala Simple Shawl by Lauren Lenneman, aka Lala of the Knit Girls. I have been using Premier Yarns Cotton Fair. I did use the multi cotton pink colorway, as well as their solids colors, bright peach and baby pink. Right now I am on the bright peach colorway. Yay. I did get maybe about 6 rows done since the last time you guys saw it. So yeah, sorry. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. Alright, so this one is actually being knit on a US 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter Chigu red lace circs. I believe they are on, yes, they are on the 60-inch cable ones that I have. It's getting big, guys. This one is being housed in my Gilmore Girls inspired bag by Addicted to Sock Knitting. So this week, I did realize that I had been using the wrong color on the diamond painting that we've been doing. Both MDI and I was actually had started using a gray color instead of the black color that it required. The funny thing is that I did not realize this until the color was all used up in the package. Because following directions is key, y'all. Oops. But both MDI and I have actually gone in and fixed everything and started again with the correct color. So there's that, right? Alright, for X's and O's, this week I have been working more on the pattern that I've been creating, as I mentioned before. Just making sure everything looks pretty and makes sense, including a chart, because I'm not really good at charts, so it's just taking me a while. Anyway, hopefully I can get this out to test knitters within the next week or so. Just make sure you are following me on Instagram or on Facebook to be updated. If you're interested in test knitting a shawl that is basically perfect to work on while you're at your summer get-togethers. And yeah. So look out for that. I've also been writing other things too, but there'll be more on that in the weeks to come. Radio Gaga. I have been listening a lot to my Silvers Being Random Spotify playlist quite a bit. I will link that in the show notes so that you can listen to if you would like. It essentially, I have listened to everything from rock and R&B to to rap and sometimes a little bit of country too. So, if you'd like, it's definitely a good mix. There's musicals on there and everything like that too. The other thing I also listened to this week was a couple episodes of And That's Why We Drink. I am not quite caught up with them, but I will get there, I promise. Silver's Book Pile. I have finished Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. Thank goodness. If you guys all saw that on Instagram, I had like 3 hours left, but I was determined to finish that in July. I'm sorry, in June. Wow. I was determined to finish that in June. I also finished a book called Undercover by R.G. Winter. And then I also finished a book by Linda Wright called Free Souls. Yeah. And now I am currently listening to Perfect Match by Judy Picoult. I have to say it's a hard book to kind of listen to more than maybe an hour of, especially the subject matter. If you were to look on Goodreads for that book, you'll know exactly why I'm having a little bit of an issue listening to it a lot. Content warning, yeah. But it is a good story, I guess, so far. I'm only about 3 hours in, so take that with a grain of salt, if you will. So far so good. It is pretty awesome. I'm about 85% of the book. I am enjoying it. Despite all of the words that she uses in there are all in like ancient Greek and stuff, but what she does write in English, I don't know. Something about it doesn't really jive with my my editor's brain, but also at the same time it's a pretty good story, so that's why I keep reading it. But yeah, it is pretty fun. It's about a bunch of Greek heroes and like demigods and things like that, so that's pretty fun. But like I said, despite all the errors that I'm finding in wording and things like that, honestly, it's a pretty good story. So, Silver and the Case of the Screen Time. I have been watching quite a bit over the past week, you guys. I have been mostly binge watching Stargate. I have been going back and forth between SG1 and Atlantis, kind of like they did when the episodes aired originally. Right now, I have finished season 8 up to episode 12 of SG1, and for Atlantis, I am up to episode 8 of season 1, which is pretty much a lot to watch in 1 week. I've also been catching up with podcasts. The Knit Girls, the enabling episode from ZK 2018 from the Stockinette Zombies. I also watched Knit 3 Together, Whips and Wine, the Knitters League, Dramatic Knits, and Round the Twist. Love these guys. I will link every single podcast in the show notes so that way you can check them out for yourself. And as you do when you're on YouTube, you also, like I do especially, get stuck on random videos. Again, this week I did get stuck on random music and flash mob videos, so as you do. My favorite things. On Sunday, my aunt held a 4th of July picnic and invited a lot of the family. And see, I had to work, but I did go and have some fun. Quite a bit, actually. We ended up having a lot of food, a lot to drink, and a lot of good times and storytelling. We were outside on my aunt's deck for a good majority of the time. Honestly, it was also hotter than Satan's balls outside, but I managed to not get burned, which, if you know me, is a minor miracle. Let me tell you. Sometimes I just look at the sun and I get burned. I can't. It's the part Irish skin in me. I don't know. Anyway, I was actually working on my shawl design while I was there, and I did get a fair amount of compliments on how it looks so far. My grandmother was trying to figure out the yarn content when I showed it to her, but since she's a knitter too, I don't blame her. But everyone else was surprised at how much I could get done while still managing to chat everyone's ear off and actually held an, as somebody actually put it, an intelligent conversation while I was doing so. Yeah, that and knitting while I was drinking, I'll admit. And so every time people asked me, hey, how do you do that? I said, easy, practice, which I have to say got a few laughs from everyone, including my grandmother, so I called it a win. The more you know. Okay, let's talk the Knit to Zero KAL that's going on. If you are going to participate, please use hashtag K20 and SDL K2Z or Z on Instagram and everywhere that you would like to participate. So for the rules, you must be a member of my Ravelry group, which is Silver's Dreamland Podcast. Your projects must use at least 10 grams of yarn, although I may waive or change this soon, just so y'all know. Individual socks count, and of course, until you finish the pair. One pair will only count once. Sorry. This is for any project that you finish in 2018, and it will count, even if it is not a Ravelry craft, such as scrapbooking, latch hooking. You can do quilting, sewing, needlepoint, and holiday baking even. But yeah, so any of these projects will count. But I do ask that you post before and after photos so we can kind of see your progress as well, because I'm kind of curious like that. So you know, poly dipping is allowed and even encouraged. All right, so what will you win for participating? Well, there's a few things. The first one is going to be a group of 12 individual $10 under patterns from Ravelry. They will be your choice. Those will be drawn 3 per quarter, so you know. You'll also might receive an individual pattern by Java Pearl Designs per quarter. So that's a total of 4. You may also win a set of cupcake stitch markers by Ann Tudor, or a set of sheep stitch markers by Ann Tudor. You may also win a wonderful Outlander bag by the Knitting Broomstick, or an awesome teapot bag, also by the Knitted Broomstick. You may also be in the running for an awesome bag by Molly Klein Designs, or these lovely pizza stitch markers by Molly Klein Designs as well. And y'all, there's going to be a wonderful grand prize. There's 3 things in this. You ready? The first one will be a sock-sized tote of your choice from either Slip Stitch Studios, Molly Klein Designs, or the Knitting Broomstick. You will receive your choice of stitch markers from either Molly Klein Designs, Ann Tudor, or We Ones on Etsy. And what's also in here is a $50 gift card from Miss Babs. This will be go right to your email if you win this prize. So you know, there will be other prizes to be determined. Prizes will be drawn once a quarter, so every 3 months. So just make sure that you post your FOs. Please PM me directly if you'd like to donate a prize for this KAL or any other KALs that I host over the next couple of years. I've got a few in mind already, and it's only July. Alrighty, since it is the first episode of the month, I'm going to go over who finished things in June. So, congratulations must go to Moe's Crochet, Rue CMC, and Elle McCall. Yay! Congratulations, ladies. Alright, as I did with the first show of April, I have decided that anyone who finished things in the past 3 months should be celebrated. So I've actually created a slideshow to do so. If you're not interested in watching the full video, I do understand. I'm going to include a timestamp here so that you may skip ahead if you don't want to watch it. I'm going to let you know it's about 11 minutes long, as we've had so many wonderful finished makes over the past 3 months. So without further ado, quarter 2's finished objects. those who actually left us for that little interim there, a little break. So now what you're really all here for, right? The winners of our wonderful prizes for this quarter. So the winner of the pattern by Java Pearl Designs is post number 77, Mercury Zelda. Yay! So let's move on to our $10 under pattern on Ravelry winners. There's going to be 3 of them. The first one is post number 23, Moe's Crochet. Yes. And post number 60, which is Elle McCall. Congratulations. And post number 62, Ruth CMC. So congratulations. I think everyone that's actually posted stuff in the past quarter has won something. So that's awesome. Oh, I was so excited when I saw the winners of that. I was so excited when I saw you guys won. I'm sorry. Let's move on to upcoming events. The big one is SSK. SSK stands for Super Summer Knit Together. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. It's from July 18th to July 22nd. I'm actually going to be leaving Connecticut that Monday and will be driving down by myself, much to the chagrin of both MTI and my mother. But anyway, because I hate flying, just basically means that I won't be back into the state and back to my computer to record until the 25th. Essentially what this means for you, my wonderful viewers, is that I'm not going to be around to record during that span of time. I'll do my best to document my journey while I'm out and about. In fact, I think I've decided to write a blog post to document my first knitting retreat, so wish me luck. And then the other thing I do need to announce is that, as I've kind of alluded to before over the past couple weeks, there are exciting things happening in my neck of the woods, like my pattern. But some awesome things have also been happening and planned as well. So please make sure that you stay tuned to all of my social media feeds at the end of this week for some more exciting news coming my way. Let's move on to the end of the road. I am pretty social. You can find me on all Ravelry board, which is Silver's Dreamland Podcast. I am Silver Luna 2112 there on Ravelry. On Facebook, Silver's Dreamland can be found at www.facebook.com/Silver's Dreamland. On Instagram, I am Silver's Treats. On Twitter, I am at Silver's Knitting. And so, I do tend to read through all messages as soon as I possibly can. If you don't hear from me within 24 hours, please feel free to email me directly at silversdreamland@gmail.com. As always, anything that I talk about can be found in the show notes at www.silversdreamlandpodcast.com. Okay, I've rambled for long enough. I know your time is valuable. Please feel free to join in any discussion, or you can even start your own on Silver's Dreamland Ravelry board. I don't bite, I promise. So, please stay tuned for episode 53 on the 11th. Until next time, happy crafting!